Hey guys, so on today's Science with Jake, I'm going to be showing you how to make a furnace. And first off, I'd like to apologize that I wasn't able to put out a video last week. I've just been really busy with schoolwork and I'm not really able to do a YouTube video over my schoolwork. It comes first. It's just a rule of mine. I'm sorry. But yeah, let's get started. You're going to need 6 cement blocks for the project, and you can probably ask around if you don't have any in your basement or whatever. If you don't want the furnace to be a permanent structure, you're going to have to use a furniture dolly that can hold quite a bit of weight, over 500 pounds, so that it can be moved around later. For this, you're going to need a lot of bricks. You might need to go out and buy some if you don't have enough. You're going to need some wire mesh in order to support weight, but it doesn't really matter what the heat testing is on the wire. It's not going to matter at all. Okay, so I started by taking 3 cement blocks and placing them into a U pattern, and I made sure that they were pushed together for structural integrity. You're going to want to take your bricks and stack them onto the cement blocks in a crisscrossing pattern and make it look similar to this. It doesn't really matter if it's exactly the same as mine. You just want to make sure that they're not going to fall over when you move it, so that's why it's important to crisscross with the bricks if you're not using mortar. Go. Okay, so now you're going to take your wire mesh and you want to take the area that has the closer segments. You can see how these get wider the higher it goes. And you're going to take some wire clippers and just cut right along that. You just got to cut along the whole length. You're going to want to take your cutout wire mesh and you're going to want to push it to the back of the furnace as much as possible and weight it down with a couple bricks. And that's just for placement simplicity later. This is me and my brother adding the rest of the bricks onto the furnace, but I do have to change the position of a couple of the bricks later, which I'll show you. Here, me and my brother add the remaining cinder blocks onto the furnace, and again a U pattern on top of the bricks that we already placed. Okay, so on top of the wire mesh inside of the furnace, you're going to want to put some rocks, and you're going to basically want to pack them in there with as many small rocks so that the airflow still goes through, but none of the ash falls down, because if any slag from the metal does fall down because you have holes, it will burn through the asphalt. There is no stopping it. It is a very hot metal at that point, around 3000 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, so the final step is to I took some ventilation tubing and I stretched it out and pushed it up through the bottom right there on the mesh, pressed it right against it. Then I took a bungee cord to hold it in place with the board there. As you see, if you look real close, there's a black strap. And then I bent it around the leaf blower and filled up the middle with some Kingsford Match Light barbecue charcoals, and then you're ready to go. It will actually work a lot better though if you don't use the briquettes, but you use the real wood charcoal that you see, and it looks like real wood charcoal. It doesn't look like these sort of fake shaped things. Okay, so now with our charcoal lit and ready to go, we're just sitting here for a little bit and watching the fire build up and get ready for the actual making of the furnace being turned on with the leaf blower blowing and all the stuff working correctly. This just Okay, so here I stick in a piece of steel. It's just flat steel that I found in my barn, just sitting around. Or it could be iron. I'm not quite sure what metal it is, but it's definitely either steel or iron. And I turned on the leaf blower, and that's why it got so red hot all of a sudden. And as I go here, you can see that it really does work. I'm going to have my brother here turn the camera so that you can actually see me using the anvil. And there it is. It works pretty well with the railroad track using as an anvil. Just using some welding gloves for heat protection and a regular nail hammer that I found just sitting around. And it's not that hard, and probably with some practice I could actually make something neat, or maybe in the future try to make a knife or something. I might try to make a science with Jake on that later. But yep, there you go. Homemade forge. Here I just throw a Pepsi can into the furnace, just showing how hot the coals really are. I did have to poke it into the front, but then it just melts instantly. You would not believe how hot the furnace is.